Okay, so we've had showings at the apartment and agents have come with their tenants, and now a tenant has decided to formally apply for the apartment. What are the next steps? What happens is the tenant's agent will usually reach out to the landlord's agent and say, look, I have somebody interested in renting the apartment. I'm going to submit a formal application. And they will then email the application packet to the landlord's agent for review. In that application packet is the formal rental application, which I will link an example of one down below. And in that rental application, it's the tenant's contact information, their employment information, what's their income, is there any bonuses, their current landlord information, how long have they lived at the current address, their references, any banking information they wish to provide as far as bank balances, bank accounts, etc. That's in that application. They also submit their 2 most recent pay stubs. So that would be for all applicants who are going to be living in the apartment. If it's 1 person, 2 person, the 2 most recent pay stubs associated with those tenants. Also in there are their copies of their IDs, as well as a tenant screening report. And that would be usually from a service like National Tenant Network, which is called NTN, we call it. The NTN report is a tenant screening report. Also, it contains their credit screening. It's a third party that runs all the information on the tenant. It looks at their credit. It looks at their income. It looks at how much the rental price is that they're applying for compared to their income, and it scores the tenant on a scale of 100. And you will have an opportunity to review that report. Basically, they consider like anything 90 plus, like excellent, very good, 80 to 89, good. It's like a school rate graded system. In the report, it also tells you if there's any previous eviction filings. It does not do anything with regards or screen for criminal background. State of New Jersey passed a law a few years ago regarding this, that a landlord cannot base an application off of criminal background initially. They have to base it on the information that I previously discussed, income, credit, references first. Then if they conditionally accept the tenant based upon that, they could then notify the tenant saying, I'm conditionally accepting you, then to the next level, I want to run a background check. And that person would have to give consent. The tenant would have to give consent to that. So that's not done initially. And that could be done upon a conditional acceptance. In the application packet, it's also any information, does the person have a pet, when they want to move in, how long of a lease term are they looking for, a year, 2 years, etc., at what price, any other conditions or terms associated with their rental offer. And then I will then send that to the landlord in a summary form with all the documents for them to review. As a landlord, you have the right to contact the references, contact the current landlord and speak with them regarding the tenants, their experience renting to the tenants. Have the tenants been current on rent? You have the right to contact the employer of the tenant's employer and confirm the income, confirm their employment. Once you look at everything, and if everything looks good to you, you can then move forward and notify your agent that you're going to accept the applicant. If you're not concerned, if you have some concerns about the tenant, I recommend discussing that with your agent, because sometimes things that you may be concerned about, you may be misreading them on the application, or they could be valid concerns. As far as like rejecting a tenant goes, there's usually a few criteria for rejecting them. Usually it's based upon lack of references or poor reference information, lack of income, and the third being lack of credit. Usually landlords like to look at your rental house, the cost of renting an apartment equal to no more than like 25 to 30% of your gross monthly rent. So if the rent's like $2,000 a month, you should be making at least $6,000, maybe $7,000 a month to carry that apartment. Because you don't want to have a situation where the person is like more than half of their monthly income is going to rental housing, because you could potentially run into problems down the road where the tenant can't pay. If you have any further questions about this, please let me know. I will link the document down below. I cannot link an example of the NTN report just because that's private information and there's no example. I would have to show you an example of a real report, and I can't do that for privacy reasons. But an example of the rental application will be down below. Email me at walter@livingonthehudson.com or at 347-448-3766 with any questions. Thank you.